If you're publishing 2 blog posts a week, tracking your keywords and seeing your traffic go up, but your bank account is staying exactly the same, then you are not alone. But you are probably making one of the biggest mistakes in SEO right now. I see this every single day. I've reviewed over 50 business websites this year alone, and most of them have exactly the same problem. They're optimizing for traffic, not for money. They're not looking at what pays their bills, they're looking at a vanity metric of how many people are getting on their site. Well, my name is Callis, and I run a 7-figure content agency called 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗏, and I'm going to show you exactly why your SEO isn't converting in this video right now. Plus, the exact framework that we use to turn a single blog post into actual paying clients. Because remember, traffic doesn't pay your bills, clients do. So let me set the scene for you. If you hire a writer or you sit down yourself, decide that you're going to do SEO on your website, whatever that means. You find a keyword with 10,000 searches a month, something like what is digital marketing or how to use Instagram, and you think, brilliant. You write a massive 3,000-word ultimate guide to answer that question. You add in all of your heading 2s, you optimize your images, you add some schema markup, and then you hit publish. Great, it works, right? 3 months later, you're ranking on page 1. You've got thousands of people visiting your site every month, and you feel like an absolute genius. SEO isn't that hard. Why don't I just do this for my job? But then you check your lead form, and it's crickets. Tumbleweed in the lead form. You check your sales. There's absolutely nothing. Why? Because you fell into the traffic trap. You see, there are 2 types of content in the world: traffic content and money content, money-making content. Traffic content is what beginners write. It's the top of the funnel, it answers basic questions, and it talks to people who are just starting to learn about a topic. So what is Instagram? How to use Instagram? My mum is searching that when she sets up her Instagram account. The person searching what is digital marketing? Probably a student doing a university assignment or a small business owner who has absolutely 0 budget to hire an agency or work with an SEO freelancer or content writer. So they are not your ideal client at all. They're never going to buy from you. They read your article, they get the answer, and then they bounce. Now, let's talk about money content. This is actually what builds a 7-figure business. Money content doesn't go after the keyword with 10,000 searches a month. Instead, it goes after the keyword with maybe 100 searches a month. But those 100 people, they have their credit cards out and they are ready to buy. So instead of writing, what is digital marketing, and attracting a load of university students just trying to get their homework in, you write, best digital marketing agency for B2B SaaS companies. Now you're attracting B2B SaaS companies who are researching for their best digital marketing agency. Instead of writing how to use Instagram, how to create an Instagram account, you write Instagram ad management pricing in 2026. Do you see the difference? The search volume is tiny, but the intent is massive. When I first started my agency, I was obsessed with getting our traffic numbers up, and I thought that was the metric that mattered. I was dead wrong, completely wrong. And it wasn't until we completely flipped our strategy and started writing exclusively for bottom of the funnel, targeted, high intent keywords that really spoke to the potential customers that we were looking for, then everything changed. We stopped writing for beginners and we started writing for buyers. And that was such a fundamental shift. Suddenly, our traffic actually dropped, right? But our revenue skyrocketed. However, getting the right people to your site is only half the battle. The second mistake that everyone makes is what actually happens when that person clicks onto your page. When they actually come onto your blog article, what are they reading? Most people write an amazing piece of content, and at the very bottom, they slap on a generic button that says, contact us, or book a call, or reach out for more information. That is lazy and it doesn't work. You need what we call conversion architecture. Every single piece of content needs to lead the reader to the logical, irresistible next step. If they're reading an article about pricing, for instance, your call to action shouldn't just be contact us. It should be a custom calculator where they can estimate their exact cost and in their email, receive a quote from you. If they're reading an article about strategy, for instance, your call to action should be a free strategy audit, or maybe a call, maybe a template that they put their email address in and then they're able to download. Essentially, your call to action needs to bridge the gap between what they're reading and what you're selling. So I remember sitting with a client last year. They were getting 50,000 visitors a month to their blog, but they were only closing about one deal a quarter maybe from organic search. They'd spent a lot of money to an SEO agency that was inflating the traffic numbers and looked great on paper, but they were coming to me and they thought SEO was a scam. So I didn't write a single new blog post for them for the first 3 months. All we did was just go into their top 10 highest traffic posts and then rebuild the conversion architecture. So what does that look like? Well, we added contextual lead magnets. We embedded specific case studies into the blog. We changed all of those generic contact us buttons to specific high value offers. And then within 30 days, their lead volume had started to turn around. And in a couple of months, it actually quadrupled from the exact same traffic. So if this is all kind of resonating, here's what I want you to do right now. Open up your Google Analytics or whatever tracking tool you use. Then take a look and be critical about the top 5 pieces of content that are on your site that are driving the most traffic. And then ask yourself 2 questions. First, is the person reading this actually in a position to buy from me? Or are they just looking for free information? Am I targeting the right people here? And then second, what is the exact next step that I'm asking them to take? And is it actually compelling? If you are just writing for traffic, you are not running a business, right? You're running a charity, you're running a school, a university lecture. So stop worrying about the vanity metrics and instead start optimizing for your bank account metrics. If you like this video, make sure to like, drop a comment and subscribe. We'll be here for you every single week with SEO tips on how to maximize your content writing strategy and a load more behind the scenes info on how we at Empowered English actually build and scale profitable content systems. Hang around and I will see you in the next video.